Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between sixJax's DDE versus Softball, also known as Sen, here on Crevasse. sixJax DDE spawning here as the blue Terran player, meanwhile Softball spawning here as the red Zerg. Zerg versus Terran, and I am looking forward to casting this game. Softball, perhaps one of the more well-known Taiwanese players, if not the most well-known Taiwanese player out there. Meanwhile, sixJax DDE, part of sixJax Gaming. If you guys don't know sixJax Gaming, I probably haven't cast too many of their games yet, but they are a pretty well-known clan. Their most I guess well-recognized member would happen to be their leader, Artosis, as Artosis is the Protoss player currently living in Korea, and also half of the Tastosis Archon, if you guys like to follow that. Anyways, a drone now making its way out, and it looks like he will just be doing some scouting. I will quickly talk about Crevasse just a little bit, as Crevasse is one of those maps where it is not part of the current map pool, and you may not know too much about it. Crevasse has two very easy to establish expansions, one down here on the low ground, and there is also one expansion up here on the high ground. It is also very well protected. It can't get cliffed, it can get dropped, but it is also on the higher ground as well, so it is very easy to defend. Another quick important point is that in the high ground expansion has a rich Vespene geyser, so Zerg players who establish their hatchery first and then go for spawning pool can then use this Vespene geyser first, as it will definitely allow them to harvest gas much more quickly with only 3 drones. Essentially 3 drones harvesting as effectively as 4.5 to 5, I think, depending on the calculations. You can see the drone now just making its way around, trying to see if there is any command center being placed down. He does see an upgrade to an orbital command. He doesn't see another wax, and he really has to be careful here. Sen needs to make sure that his opponent is trying to go for a command center, while sixJax DDE doesn't want to let Sen or Softball know that he is in fact going for a fast command center up on the high ground as well. SCB will be making its way up into here. We are getting a spawning pool now down, and it looks like that hatchery is about to be completed, about 2/3 of the way done. Let's see if Softball will grow up and build an extractor up on the high ground first, and yes, he is going to do that. That is exactly what I want to see from high level foreign play, going for that high extractor first, knowing that it returns gas much more quickly, and already sending the 3 drones off up on the high ground. It will be able to start mining minerals and then start mining that gas rather soon. We are getting that spawning pool now into play. Some Zerglings will finally be able to be trained. Double queens most likely will be trained up as well. Drones gonna drop off those minerals and perhaps start mining off of that extractor. And I believe it is 6 gas per trip, so yes, it is 50% more effective. One drone now trying to sneak by, unable to do so, as the wide ramp choke point now starting to get blocked off. If you guys didn't know, there is also some destructible debris on your ramp as well, so it can go from a rather small choke point into a rather larger one. We'll see how that works out, as the overlords are now making their way into the position, trying to get some scouting information on this high ground expansion that DDE just finished establishing. Back over here, if you take a look at the harvester count, 192 gas, 168 gas, only off of 3 drones, so that is very effective. And now you can see he is also going into teching to tier 2. This is rather strange. He is teching to tier 2 before he is going before he's getting that metabolic boost. And normally whenever I see a quick tech to tier 2, what I really want to be aware of is where the overlords are positioned. Recently it's become a little bit more popular for a fast tech to tier 2 to indicate that you're trying to do a spine crawler rush. Now spine crawler rushes don't work nearly as well on a walled-in Terran as it does a walled-in Protoss, but sixJax DDE does have a lot of barracks, and he is also going into a starport as well, so we should be seeing perhaps some Banshees coming out as well. And without any additional queens being trained, that may be an issue. We are now at tier 2 already, and what building will we see next? Going into a spire now, so it's a very fast spire, and now harvesting off of 3 gas, one of them being rich, so that means we are going to have a lot of Mutalisks into play. Cloak now being researched, Banshees being trained, no Overseer just quite yet. There is currently 2 queens in play, no additional queens being trained, and no hatchery down here on the low ground, so it is still essentially 1.5 base versus 1.5 base. One Banshee will try to make its way out. It will quickly be revealed by these overlords, though, and with that, softball should be able to respond quick, well, and transfer an upgrade an overseer, and then easily train up those mutalisks. Mutalisks are very, very effective at hunting down and taking down Banshees, as Banshees move rather slowly, and the cloaking research won't even be completed for about another 50 seconds or so. You can see the overlords are in position there. One Marine just wandering back and forth. Does the overlord see it? Yes, the overlord does in fact see the one Banshee here, sees it with the second Banshee, and now it's just going to be a matter of time before the mutalisks now come into play. You can see that the Zerglings are down over here. Queen now trying to come over. Queen getting some damage. One drone now down. Now just going simply after the Queen. The Queen now dangerously low on hit points. And now the Queen needs to back off, and it looks like we'll get off one spawn larva more before it is just detracted and deterred away. Another Queen now being trained up. I don't see an Overseer Cocoon, and that's going to be a definite problem, as the cloaking research has now been completed. One Banshee now in the air. You can see that another hatchery is currently being placed down. The now cloak has been initiated, and it looks like it's going to try to push in. There are those mutalisks nearby, and the mutalisks are just going to be trying to hunt down this Banshee. Banshee at 14 hit points, but with no detector, this Banshee going to get a lot more kills. So 2 more kills already. Overseer Cocoon finally being, I guess, hatched, as the Banshee now looking to deal even more damage. The Queen back over here. It looks like the Banshee may be able to get off a little bit more damage once more, but it should not be trying to go after the extractor. It needs to go after those drones. This Banshee cannot make it out alive, so it's just trying to deal as much damage as possible, as that Banshee now pulling out, and it looks like it will be able to barely escape. Currently sitting at 11 hit points, or 11 energy, down to 7. It really needs to escape, and it will be able to do so in just a matter of moments. There are a lot of Marines, though, so I do not believe Sen will be able to get that much damage in, as the one Banshee realizes, hey, I don't have any energy, I'm revealed, and sixJax Banshee, which did so much damage, will quickly get destroyed. Taking a look at the losses, 650 versus 550 now, so a pretty even matchup so far. We have Softball Sen already establishing his third base here down on the low ground, so he should be able to get a strong economy going, as this Banshee wasn't able to get any real damage at all. One Spore Crawler back over here. We are at tier 2. Pneumatized Carapaces already being evolved as well, so the Overseers will have the same movement speed as that Banshee, and the Mutalisks should be able to catch up rather easily, and drones are now also mining away as well. So level 1 weapons upgrade, another Spine Crawler, and now going into Banelings. So it is going to be a lot of Banelings as these Mutalisks try to deal as much damage as possible. Barracks are now being repositioned over here as well. A lot of missile turrets. One Banshee hiding in the back over here. Taking a look at the harvester count, 59 drones versus 49 SCVs. But definitely the 3 mules are helping out tremendously, as we are now going into the level 1 weapons upgrade. Always a very important upgrade whenever you face a Zerg player, as you want to make sure your siege tanks one-shot any Zerglings, even if they have that Carapace upgrade. Command Center about to be completed. It most likely will lift off and land over here. Any other expansion attempt would probably be pretty foolish at this stage, as the Overseer now in position. And it looks like the Overseers and the Mutalisks are going to try to put in for a little bit of harassment damage. And is he going to be able to get a corruption off? I don't believe so, no. Now trying to go after the engineering bait instead, and a lot of damage being dealt. The Overlord's not going to really be able to offer that much assistance at all, as a Banshee now on the move once more. There are 2 Queens down on the low ground. The one Overseer now coming in over here, and it looks like a quick reveal, but not much, and that was a really bad play by DDE. DDE should have realized that he needs to try to keep his Banshees alive. That harassment not that effective when the Mutalisks can outmaneuver you, fly faster than you, and also those Overseers can keep up with you as well, making sure that you're revealed. It looks like Sen's trying to get into a critical mass of Mutalisks, currently queuing up 14 and with no end in sight, currently running off of 7 gas as well as there's also one Changeling over here. The Changeling getting destroyed absolutely by one Thor there. What a horrible way to go, as the medevac perhaps going to try to do a drop onto the high ground to protect from those Mutalisks. The Mutalisks have the magic box. If they don't magic box, those Thors will simply be able to rip through them so quickly. Level 2 weapons upgrade already coming in. The Thor, it does have that level 1 weapons upgrade, so dealing 8 additional damage per round of attack, as the Mutalists are now trying to swarm in, finish off some of those missile turrets. One missile turret down, another missile turret now down, but a round of Javelin missiles getting a lot of damage into the backs and once again being forced to pull off once more. Taking a look at the losses, 1850 versus 1150 as the Thor now dropping straight into the main base here, and it looks like it's going to go straight into the natural, or the main base here, and now try to get as much damage as possible. There are 3 missile turrets, and those missile turrets just dealing so much damage. Mutalists are not backing off in time at all, as another round of Javelin missiles destroying more and more Mutalists. And wow, so many Mutalists getting lost there, and Sen desperately in trouble, losing already 2,000 more resources. And so far, taking a look at the army count, 3575 versus 3600. The game is still very even, as sixJax has just been able to establish his natural expansion, and it looks like perhaps we will get a drop up onto the high ground in just a moment. If he drops this one medevac, or drops the Overlord, drops the Thor. Yeah, medevac dropping an Overlord. That doesn't make any sense. If he drops the Thor, he should be able to at least deter and shoo away this one Overlord here, as the Mutalists are currently being revealed. There's a quick scanner sweep. The Marines are trying to get some damage onto them, unable to do so, unable to catch up, and now a Zergling getting destroyed as well. The medevac a little bit out of position, and it looks like siege tanks are going to continue to slowly push their way forward. These rocks have been destroyed. We may have a flank here as the Mutalists are moving so quickly. Gonna try to shut down that center tower. Center tower has been taken down. And now more Marines just trying to come in, take down these Mutalists over here. But the missile turrets, so many of them on the map, making it very difficult for those Mutalists to really do anything at all. I'm surprised that we do not have the auto-sec tracking upgrade at this time. Auto-sec tracking would be able to help out significantly, as once you invest that much into Mutalists, that additional +1 range just really makes the map much smaller for those Mutalists. Thors are now continuing to push their way out. Banelings coming into suicide as well. Siege tanks up on the high ground, blasting away onto the low ground, as a sea of Zerglings are going to try to perhaps come around the far side and run down this here, and we will have a true flank in just a matter of seconds. Siege tanks continue to blast away. This hatchery already down to 400 hit points, and here we go, a sea of red in an army of blue. Marines now trying to come back over here. The Marines, the Zerglings able to just take down multiple units, and it looks like the Zerglings are just rushing their way through. The Marines are now trying to get back in time. The Banelings may be able to push through once more, and it looks like Zerglings are going to be swarming in from the back. Marines are having a little bit of a trouble trying to figure out where they can run, as the Mutalists are going after the Thors now. The Thors are now destroyed, and a sea of Marines just melted in a wave, and DDE losing a lot of forces in that engagement there. The majority of his army has been taken down, and now he needs to figure out what he's going to be doing long term. We have a couple siege tanks over here, one Thor nearby. It looks like the Mutalists, accidentally grouping up on top of each other. The Marines are now going to be trying to come in as well. That Thor getting so much damage, as one hatchery now taken down. Banelings will be coming in, as well as this hatchery over here still mining away, and this hatchery over here mining away. Production, we have the Greater Spire underway. Corruptors, Broodlords could be coming in, as we do not see any Vikings at all. Zerglings, and once again trying to swarm in, and it looks like they'll be able to get a lot of damage once again very easily. A Thor now just going to get taken down in a matter of seconds, as the Banelings looking to find their target, unable to do so already, and the Banelings just melting away at more and more of those units. A Queen joining in on the fight, not realizing that it should be back at home taking care of the hatchery, as the Zerglings are just running rampant through the base once more. Siege tanks aren't even unsieging. So much is happening. sixJax now trying to clean up this slow push out, not doing a good job, just trying to cover all the flanks, and the Zerglings were able to run by once again. Zerglings now coming in. We'll be able to finish off more of these siege tanks here. Down goes another siege tank, and now this very forward position that DDE works so hard to try to establish is completely in shambles. Army 2250 with 900 gas, 2275 versus 1375 gas. One Broodlord in this group as well. The Zergling getting in a fair amount of damage. Not quite sure why the units didn't turn around. There you go, finally turning around and getting some damage back. Drones now being transferred off over here. Perhaps another base will be established over here on the top right hand side as well. Where is that scanner sweep? I know I heard it, but I don't quite see where it is. Harvester 76 versus 62. One Broodlord once again being retrained up, and we'll see how much damage can be dealt. The Thor's level 1 weapons upgrade. I know level 2 in sight. Pathogen glands also being added. Adrenal glands and level 3 claw attack upgrades. So I believe there will be 3 Broodlords out in the field as that Changeling getting absolutely destroyed at the hands of a Thor. And now in come 2 Broodlords. Broodlords going to be able to make short work off of this one lonely missile turret there. Down it goes, and the units are once again on the move. Medevac now trying to do a drop, perhaps a drop over here. No, it's going to try to drop along the backside here, not knowing that there's another expansion over here. And sixJax, as it moves out, will he spot the creep? No, he does not spot the creep, and that is going to be a bit of a problem there as the Zerglings are now underneath, perhaps trying to get proper position, as we now also have a drop over here. So sixJax trying to get a very, very strong drop into multiple locations. One Queen now taken down, now trying to go after the Greater Spire. The Greater Spire has one armor as the Marines taking down this hatchery over here. Zerglings are going to clean it up. Infestors are going to be able to just pathogen or just fungal growth all of those units there. Down it goes, but it looks like the Zerglings or the Marines able to take down the Greater Spire. So the Greater Spire now taken down at this portion in the game. That completely resets how long he can get those Broodlords. It takes 100 seconds to build a Spire, and then an additional 100 seconds to upgrade to a Greater Spire, and that is definitely going to slow down Sen at this stage in the game, and with no end in sight. Marines once again getting fungal growth there. I'm just getting destroyed once more. It looks like we may get another fungal growth. No additional fungal growths as the Zerglings are able to finish it off. The problem, though, is sixJax now just mining out of his base much more quickly. And we are seeing an Infestor, a couple Vikings, and Siege Tanks once again being added. Army, 4,400 with 2,000 gas. Those Thors looking to deal as much damage as possible, trying to push their way out once again. 2 medevacs over here. Siege Tanks are going to perhaps siege up, try to catch many of those units in transition once more. I don't see Neural Parasite, and no, it has not been researched already. So with no Neural Parasite, those Thors may get off a lot of damage relatively quickly. Vikings are also in the air as well to try to add some additional armor or additional protection against the few Broodlords that are currently left in the field. 4 Broodlords in the field. Neural Parasite now being researched as sixJax. DDE looking to establish an expansion here. A rather skimpy expansion with only 5 mineral patches. And now, once again, a Siege Tank trying to siege up and will be able to protect and perhaps stop some of those units. There are a couple Infestors. The Infestors could have gotten off a fungal growth onto those Vikings. The Vikings would have just been easily destroyed, as we are once again having another push with those Broodlords. Broodlords now dropping Siege Tanks. 1 Siege Tank now down, 2 Siege Tanks now down. Infestor is also up there as well. It looks like the infested Marines are going to be able to get some damage onto perhaps some of those Vikings. And now both sides just battling it out still. The Broodlords are in a bit of trouble. Down goes another Viking there. The only anti-air that Softball really has at this stage, as there are so many Infestors and so many fungal growths that it will be very difficult for sixJax to push out and deal any more damage. sixJax running off of a lot of production buildings at this stage in the game, and should be able to just queue up many more units. SCVs all oversaturating this location here, as the Zerglings now coming in, doing a surround here. Are we going to get a Neural Parasite? No Neural Parasite yet. A fungal growth hitting off so many of those Marines. All the Marines just simply falling apart, and with so many Marines now falling apart and no real additional protection, all it will take is Zerglings with the Adrenal Glands and some Ultralisks to finish off all of these Thors. Army 2475 versus 2000. It takes taking a look at it, we are going to get 1 Viking finishing off the rest of those Broodlords there. Very expensive units. Siege Tank does get taken down as well. Banelings looking to suicide, as the Zerglings with 3-2 upgrades will be moving out in just a moment. Ultralisk with 5 armor will be able to take a lot of punishment from those Thors as well, reducing the damage by a total of 10. Katonis upgrade, level 3 armor upgrade should be coming in as well, as the Siege Tanks should be sieging up. Banelings still on a roll, looking to deal more damage, as we are now going to perhaps get a bit of a flank here, and now those units will be coming in from the far side. Ultralisk coming in, Banelings coming in. Ultralisk getting so much splash damage, fungal growth, and so much damage being dealt, as the Infestors could easily just start trying to take control of those Siege Tanks, and the Infestors with those Ultralisks just chomping away. And Sen winning a game here on Crevasse with the use of Ultralisk. Very impressive play. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1 in the series between DDE and Fnatic Sen here on Crevasse.